Hi Aries, welcome. So Aries, this is going to be a reading. I'm going to start with the spiritual messages and then we're going to go into the you versus them love reading. My readings are timeless, so I just trust that whenever you find this, that's when you're meant to hear it. So let's get into it, Aries, and see what we have coming through for my Aries people during this time frame. You have the 12th house. Now this is interesting to me because I shuffled the cards a little bit before I meditated and before I started the video, and I kept getting out the moon and Piscean energy, and I almost like questioned, like, should I do the Pisces reading? But I wanted to start with you, Aries, and now you have the 12th house, which is more like Pisces energy. So some of you could be on the cusp. You could have Pisces somewhere in your chart. You could be connecting with a Pisces, and or it's just simply the influencing vibes. But I feel a heavy moon influence here, okay? And I know we just had a full moon, so I'm not exactly sure when the next one is, but I want to say pay attention to the next full moon. And I'm not even sure what sign it is in, actually. I don't think it's in Pisces, is it? Let's see. It might be Aquarius. I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, just pay attention to the moon cycle. Anyways, the 12th house talks about subconscious mind, your dreams, can be a very intuitive energy, can talk about karma, compassion. To me, when I see this card, it's all about like kind of letting go of anything that has been holding you back, that has been making you feel heavy, or maybe something that you've really been struggling with, right? A lot of the struggle, quote unquote, that we feel in life isn't so much to do with the people surrounding us or the situations we're in as it has to deal with our emotional response to it, how we're perceiving it, how we're choosing to think about it. So the struggle is real, yes, but it's really internal that the struggle begins and that you get the most suffering from. So it's like understanding the art of surrender being really important for you, Aries, especially for those of you who have an area of life maybe, or an area within yourself that you're struggling with emotionally. Sometimes this can talk about that as well, struggling with how you feel about a certain situation or how you feel about yourself, right? So let's get into it a little bit further and see what else we have coming through. Ooh, oh my goodness, I want to take these back. All right. Cards are messy. Okay, so celebration. And then you have the Fool, which is Aries energy to me. What else? No. It's too messy. Let's get one more. I saw a card flip in there, but I don't think that's not the one. This is transformation, Scorpio energy for some of you. Could be dealing with that or have that in your chart. So this is all about new beginnings in friendships, in relationships, in your social circle. The Three of Cups to me highlights exactly all of those things. Sometimes it can also talk about celebrations, big events coming through, but it's mostly like social gatherings. And then it can also represent reconciliation for those of you who may have something that you're struggling with that you want to reconcile inside of yourself or with another person. And then the card of change, death, and rebirth, not literally talking about death, but it's more of like a spiritual thing where you could be going through a lot of changes, maybe some new beginnings, maybe kind of branching off, especially when it comes to like your social life, the things you do for fun, the people you hang out with, all of that coming into full focus right now, Aries. So let's go further then and see what else we have coming through for my Aries. What else does Aries need to know? Ace of Wands. Now, what's really funny about this, I wasn't going to bring this up because I don't know. I get all kinds of random things when I meditate. It's not always for all of you, but I definitely got a picture of a welder. I don't know if any of you take up welding or if that's like resonating with you in any kind of way, just leave it if it doesn't. It's a general read, right? But I definitely got that in my meditation. So I think it's funny that the Ace of Wands came out, because this is kind of what it looked like in my meditation, like a spark of, you know, like when you light a welding torch, like how it sparks. So it kind of reminds me of that card, actually. So what is the Ace of Wands then? The Ace of Wands is passion, it's intensity, it's motivation. Sometimes it could be very impulsive energy. Okay, sometimes this could be a very sexual energy as well. Okay. But I love the Ace of Wands. It's like a passionate new beginning. So you have two cards that speak of new beginnings here. What else? There is the Death and Rebirth card, which you've already gotten. The Chariot. Sorry, my cards are upside down. And let's see. One more. So you have some pretty major cards out here, Aries. And the Star. Wow. What's funny is I noticed that the Star fell off this deck earlier when I was talking, and I put it back. Some of you could connect with Aquarian energy or have that in your chart. Take it or leave it. I've got Cancerian energy and Scorpio energy too. But yeah, okay, so this card talks about, again, endings, new beginnings, big changes, right? This is not like little shifts in the atmosphere. This is like big, life-changing type of changes or energy coming through. The Chariot talks about fast movement forward, fast progress. Sometimes it could also talk about moving, travel, real estate, things of that nature. And then the Star, which is hopeful energy. It's wish come true energy. So I feel like, wow, what an auspicious like spread to get, Aries. Like, what the heck? Big changes coming through. Now, this is falling in the area of surrender, which also talks about your dreams, but also your spiritual development, as well as relationships. So I feel like there's big changes and movement forward coming through in the relationship sector. And there could be something that like just sparks inside of you that you're just like, yeah, I want to go a different direction with this. Or maybe there is something that sparks an ending here, which allows for some sort of shift and then new beginning into a new direction. But I feel this being very hopeful, very positive, very spiritual energy. So this is big. Okay, so let's see what else we have coming through for Aries. The Empress, the Hermit. Are we gonna get all major arcana? Like, what the heck? The Page of Wands. So the Empress and the Hermit. The Empress is, to me, this is like birthing new beginnings. Yet again, the third time that message has come out. But this card also talks about patience. It talks about taking good care of yourself. You know, this is a very loving and nurturing type of energy. And it's paired with the Hermit, Taurus, Virgo energy for some of you, where it's about self-reflection, going within, deeply considering, you know, yourself and others. It's the card of enlightenment, all right? So I feel like things are like kind of developing naturally as they should in your life right now, Aries. I don't know if some of you have questioned that or like you've had struggled with that at times. Like, don't we all kind of struggle to understand life sometimes, or maybe even like question if we're on the right path? And it's like, you're on the right path, right? First of all, you're the one carving the path, so you cannot take a wrong path. But there's like reassurance energy coming through about, I don't know, I just keep getting the word reassurance. So I don't know if you're needing reassurance about that, if maybe something abrupt happened here and there was doubt or questioning, or you were struggling with something around that. But I feel like you can trust your intuition, Aries. Because again, this is the fourth card of something new beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 times that's out now. So let's see what else. Gosh darn. Ooh, the Six of Wands. You got all the good cards. Oh, okay. Well, there's that Three of Swords, but that's all right. Paired with the Six of Wands is a good thing. And I'll tell you why in a second. Give me one more card. Or three, whatever. Okay, so the Emperor, the Page of Cups, and the Four of Cups. So this is kind of like taking your power back here. Now the Six of Wands next to the Three of Swords. The Six of Wands is overcoming something. It is overcoming an obstacle. It's being successful. What are you overcoming? The Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is hurt, you know, heartbroken. And for some reason I got the word dependent. I don't find Aries to be like an overly needy or dependent sign. Like, you're just too fiery for that. But we all have a tendency to depend on someone at some point. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know if you were heavily depending on other people to like make you feel good or to be there for you or whatever this is. Or if somebody was doing that to you, but I feel like you breaking loose of that. I feel like you truly stepping into this more powerful place where for some of you, what this is boiling down to is like enough is enough type of vibe. You know, like enough is enough. I have the motivation now to let this go, to move forward, to move on. I've been patient. I've reflected on this. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. And like literally pushing yourself over that hump there, Aries, because then you go into the Emperor, which is to me like a full-grown, mature Aryan energy here. This is somebody who knows their worth, who is standing their ground, who is not letting, you know, doubt or insecurities get the best of them. And yet behind this person is the Page of Cups and the Four of Cups. So the Page of Cups to me, alone, if I can speak, it's kind of like a very innocent energy, but it can also be like an emotionally immature energy. You see the Four of Cups here is like a very emotionally detached energy, right? But what's interesting is he's trying to offer this person the fourth cup, right? But they're not paying attention. So FYI, there may be something on offer here or something available to you that you're not either aware of just yet or you're not giving it your attention for whatever reason. Another thing I want to say about that card combination is be careful, Aries, that I'm getting the song sorry, I don't mean to keep pausing, but I want to get this right. What I'm getting is good intentions. It's really important. Your intentions matter. It's really all that matters because your intentions and your beliefs is what sets forth your vibration, which then law of attraction matches you up to, that of which is similar to that of which you're giving off, right? So when we go into things with bad intentions, you know, it's likely not going to result in a good outcome, right? So I guess like they're saying, check your intentions. And sometimes we don't even be knowing we have bad intentions. You know what I mean? Sometimes we are unaware that maybe the reason that we're wanting something so bad, or, you know, the reason that we're doing something is not for the right reasons. Like, I don't want to go too far into this, but it's not about like what you're going to get out of a situation or what's in it for you so much as to what you can contribute to the situation, like what you bring. That's what matters the most. Is that making sense to you? And that goes for anybody that you're connecting with too, because again, remember they were highlighting that your social circle, like your friends group, your partner. Some of you might have multiple, I don't know. They were highlighting that area of your life too. Like when you're connecting with other people, is it with good intention? You know, ask yourself that question. And kind of go from there and feel them out as well, right? Although you're never really responsible for whatever anybody else's intentions are, and you can't even change it. So I don't want to make this about other people. I want to make it about you, because the only thing you have control over is you, what you think, what you feel, what you intend, and the law of attraction will sort it out for you. Okay? So let's play. Yes, let's play, Aries. Let's see what the guidance cards have to say, and then we're going to go into the you versus them love reading for my Aries. You have card number 20. Flawed premises can attract true unwanted evidence. If you were to hear a false premise again and again and again until you started to believe it and then repeat it, now your own activation of the contradictory vibration would interfere with your sense of intelligence, and you would begin to attract evidence of your belief. In effect, proving the false premise to be true. And so it becomes increasingly hard for you to call this a false premise when the evidence seems to be telling you that it is true, for over time you have come to believe that this false premise is true. That is a very interesting card to get. Flawed premises can attract true but unwanted evidence. And I really want to give it an example so that I can break that down. Like, say if, I'm going to give a cheating example, but this isn't I'm not predicting this. I just want to give you an example. Or let's say a fear of, let's go with that. Say you have like a strong paranoia because maybe you have been cheated on in the past, that your now new partner, who is vibrationally different than your partner from the past, will repeat that cheating behavior. And say that you believe it so much that they're definitely going to hurt you because you're letting that trauma and you're letting that paranoia dictate your mind now. The law of attraction will grab on to whatever you believe is most true, whether you want it or not, and whether it's true or not, and will start presenting you evidence. So, for example, say, like, you're very paranoid about your partner cheating. Your partner has no plans on cheating. Your paranoia cannot make that person become a cheater. But it can, you know, make you think or put you in a situation where you end up falsely accusing a person. Because law of attraction will just keep feeding that paranoia. It'll give you articles will pop up about it. You'll find, you know, evidence where there's not evidence. If they come home late from work, you're going to assume it's because of that, when really maybe their tire was flat. You know what I mean? Like, it's so funny because law of attraction is so tricky. It will have you believing that things are true that are not actually happening. And that's why I say there's a very thin line between reality and delusion, right? So, I guess what I'm saying to you is, if you hear a false premise again and again, law of attraction will bring you evidence of it. Will it make it absolutely true? No. But will it make you believe it's true? Absolutely. Be discerning. Anyways, let's go into the love reading now. Let's get further into it, you versus them. Stay right there. I'll see you in just a second. Welcome back. All right, so now we're going to go back and forth between you and the person you may be connecting with. Keep in mind it is a general reading, so the roles may be reversed. Feel free to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and let's get into it. So, Aries, you have the card of isolation. Not my favorite card, but not terrible. And this person has the card of fighting. So this could be resonating with those of you who may have had a conflict recently or in the past, or maybe you're just dealing with somebody who has a fighting spirit, or maybe they just like to argue, because I'm hearing that song. Maybe it's a song, or maybe it's off TikTok. He's like, Oh, you like to argue. You like to argue? Let's try and bring a little light to the moment. I hope somebody knows what I'm talking about. Anyways. And then with the card of isolation here falling under your crowning energy, you know, you may have had quite literally a falling out or a conflict with this person, and or you could have just isolated yourself because maybe this person was in the arguing type of mood, or you just didn't feel like dealing with it. We shall see. So let's go into the recent past and what led up to the now. Oops. Then we're going to look at how you perceive each other, how you feel underneath it all, and most likely outcomes. So, recent past energy for my Aries. Oh my goodness, you got a whole story here. 2 of Swords, 10 of Swords, 4 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. The first thing I heard was the news is out, or something to do with that communication coming in. So this is like kind of being insecure, uncertain, really feeling exhausted. Some of you had an ending or some sort of betrayal here. And then the 4 of Swords coming in, so healing from that. So I feel this is kind of old news, you know, something that you've already healed from, Aries. And then as we kind of come into the more recent energy, it's all about like working on yourself, working with others. And I just keep getting, have you heard the news? So I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but I feel a lot of you, regardless, have been working on yourself and may have something to say for yourself, okay? Especially if you've really come a long way in your healing journey. I feel like you wanting to kind of be vocal about that or to communicate that. So let's see this person's recent past. Their recent past energy. Page of Wands, 9 of Cups, and the Hermit. So I feel like this person, ooh, excuse me, this person, Aries, they have the Page of Wands. It's just like a very playful energy, but it can also be childlike. It can also be kind of impulsive energy. And the 9 of Cups is next to that, which in this deck talks about finances, wealth, money. So I don't know if this person like was very playful with their money, or maybe they were impulsive with their money. I don't know, but it's talking about like kind of them needing to reflect or go within, or maybe learning some lesson around finances, how to handle finances, how they've handled their finances in the past. This could be somebody who prioritizes like I don't get an overly serious vibe if I'm being honest. I get a very playful energy. Like they would rather go out and have fun than like save up for a retirement plan, or you know what I mean? Like I don't want to say frivolous, but I do kind of get a frivolous energy here. And what that has to do with your connection with them, I don't know, but certainly, you know, if you're connected with somebody, of course how they handle their finances affects the both of you. And maybe for some of you there was quite literally a fight over that, but or at least in the past, possibly. This is the past, recent past energy. So we'll see. Let's go into then how you perceive this person. How do you perceive this person in the now? You have the Death and Rebirth card and the Page of Pentacles. And the King of Wands. So when it comes to this person, there might have been an ending here for some of you. For others of you, it's just marking a big change or evolution that has occurred within the connection or within this relationship. The Page of Pentacles is like putting your best foot forward. It is like the beginnings of something that could be something real here. But it's also underdeveloped energy. It's not fully matured yet. The King of Wands, I heard dictator. I don't think so. Some of you see this person as a dictator. I don't know. But what I was going to say is the King of Wands to me in the upright is somebody who's very confident, witty, you know, like on their game, right? Can also be a warm energy. Okay, but maybe there's something like underdeveloped here about this person's persona or personality, or like, okay, I just feel like they have an area for growth, at least in your mind. But don't we all, right? I mean, let's be conscious and aware of our own areas for growth. But I feel like since this is falling in your perception, there may be something that you feel like needs to change about this person, or you're looking for a change in like a part of their personality. For some of you, it's how they handle money, but it could just be in general, like how they handle themselves. So let's see, how do they perceive you? How do they see Aries? Two of Cups. Oh, I didn't mean to get that many. Knight of Cups, Nine of Swords, King of Swords, Knight of Swords. So the Knight, you have two knights here, which is kind of like fast moving energy. It's like here today, gone tomorrow type of vibe. It's not the most consistent. So I don't know if there's been a lot of inconsistency within the connection or within your bond between you and this person. But I feel like that's how they kind of perceive that. It's like they feel like, oh, Aries, first of all, there's a deep connection. You have the soulmate energy card, but there's also like this avoiding of conflict possibly, or like this need to, and desire to run away. And what are you running away from? Romance, true love? Like, I don't know if you're actually doing it, but for some reason this person feels like maybe you're non-committal, or like you run from true love or romance, like get all in your head about it, get all worried about it, like overthink a situation. I'm not saying you actually do these things, but I'm saying like this is what's showing up in how they perceive you. Okay, but since it's a general, it could also be reversed. But it's complicated. And I got the word misconstrued. So I'm not even sure they're really on the mark with that. You know, isn't that funny? Like sometimes our perception can be so far from what the reality is. And it makes it so hard, right? For us to determine, like, is this intuition or am I being paranoid? Which is so funny because I was talking about paranoia in your spiritual reading. So maybe you yourself have questioned that. Like, am I being intuitive or am I being paranoid? Because I've met a lot of paranoid people that believe that they're intuitive because they get signs. Well, law of attraction is always going to pull in signs. There's signs everywhere. You know what I mean? Like numbers, music, smells, flowers. It's when the signs are intentional. It's when you're so in tune that it's almost like you see it coming before it comes. Like it's just a very slight differentiation between intuition and paranoia. But the best way to tell is based on how you feel, because intuition feels good. It feels like clarity. It feels like I know. And paranoia feels tense, stressful. Like it makes your body feel different when you're in the state of paranoia. Everybody knows how it feels to be paranoid. It feels fearful. Fear is not intuition. But a lot of people think it is. Anyways, I don't know why I'm going in that direction. Let's go into the heart space. I'm not saying fear doesn't have its purpose or serve you in some way, but do not get it twisted with intuition. All right, so let's see. Heart space, Six of Cups. How does Aries feel about this person? Five of Wands. This could be somebody you had a struggle with from the past. Okay, or maybe in the past they remind you of somebody you had a struggle with. I'm not sure. But you definitely it's weird because you feel a real strong bond with this person, but you're also on the fence about the person. And it could be because there was an argument here recently or in the past, take it as it's resonating, that has kind of put you in that stance where you're like, I'm a little bit guarded now, or I'm a little bit distant emotionally, possibly because of that. So you could have been at odds with something in the connection, and that's created some friction here. So let's see how this person is feeling underneath it all. 7 of Cups. Temperance. 6 of Cups. 3 of Cups. So, Aries. Oh my goodness. Why do I keep yawning every time I go in this person's... on this side? So the 6 of Cups showed up in your heart space and in this person's heart space. So I feel like either you have a long history with this person, or maybe perhaps a childhood bond, and or like similar past experiences. I feel like this person often gets confused though with, like, I guess how they feel. You know, they do a lot of comparing to the past or possibly a past relationship, and that like further muddies the water because it's hard to see what's in front of us clearly when we're looking at it through the lens of our past. And that's what it really means when they say you're carrying baggage. It means that you're viewing everything that's happening in the now and everything that could happen to you in the future based on the past. But the past only repeats itself if you keep focusing on it. To let go, though, to surrender, is to literally become born anew every day that you wake, which means nothing matters other than the moment you're living in. That's really the only way to have a true clean slate, but you have to create that space for yourself inside, right? So I feel like this person lets their past dictate their future in some ways because they use it too much as like a comparison tool. There's confusion here. There's some back and forth, but then there's the 3 of Cups, which is like a very supportive energy. It could be people from their past that are interfering or that are also involved or they're dealing with. It may not just be about you, Aries. It could be about many other things that this person has going on. But I feel that they do want to reconcile this or make this right somehow. Let's see what the most likely outcome then is for this time frame. King of Swords, Ace of Swords. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh. Temperate. Well, because the first thing that I thought of when that came out was say it, don't spray it. Bizarre. I know. Okay, what's the 7 of Swords? Gosh, I don't like the 7 of Swords. Dang it. The Emperor and the Page of Swords. There's something about this you don't trust, and I feel like you need to take the time to sort this out within yourself. It's like the King of Swords is all business. This is showing up as you in the future. All business, very serious energy. This is want the truth, clarity. Okay, Temperance is about finding balance emotionally. And yet the 7 of Swords is here, which is very deceptive, untruthful, unclear energy, which is throwing you through a loophole, I feel, because the Page of Swords in the upright is very untrusting. It's also immature energy, but it's very skeptical, right? In the reverse, it's like times 10. It's like, wow, red flag alert, red flag alert. I don't know if there's like information coming in and you're like, ooh, red flag, and or you're letting the past interfere with how you're seeing a situation in the now, which we just talked about, that like a trauma response almost. But I feel like this is something you need to sort out within yourself, Aries. It's something you really need to feel out from within, because only you truly know. your truth. Okay. But I do feel like there's something coming to light here. And it's going to cause like this moment where you really need to sort out what you're feeling. It may, for some of you, cause a conflict here with this person. Some of you, this has already occurred. All right. Queen of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles. And the first thing that I got when this card came out was cause of concern. So I don't know if this person is like the cause of your concern or you, they, but take it if it resonates. This person is trying to stay in their place of knowing their own self-worth. They're also trying to stay in this place of staying open and receptive and patient, and they're trying to be nurturing. They're trying to, you know, avoid really a conflict, I feel, which is interesting because maybe none of this actually surfaces. It could be all internal. Like this person is like fighting the urge to start something or cause an argument, but it's really getting to their mental space, like it's causing them some distress. And maybe you are aware of this, or your spidey senses, your intuition is making you aware of this, and it's like, but maybe they're not saying it, and you're like, just say it, and they're not saying it, and that would feel very frustrating to me if I was an Aries. And then there's another group of you where it actually comes to the surface and manifests, and words are said. So I feel like it's going to go one of those two ways here. But I feel like this, you know, person is hoping for the best possible outcome here, and they're trying to be very patient, kind of. Yeah, because it's like what I want is an opportunity here for growth and development, commitment, but they're stressing. There's back and forth in the heart space. They're comparing too often. Yeah. So they're almost causing a bit of a struggle within themselves. Like I said earlier, some of them are not going to express it. Some of them will. You'll know which group you're in. Let's see what the guidance is. What is the guidance? Ooh, for Aries. I will not try to control the uncontrollable. Card number 26. We want you to reach the place where you are willing, not just willing, determined, not just determined, eager to let go of the need of control of things that are uncontrollable. Like, for instance, what anybody else is doing, thinking, saying, and then instead give your undivided attention to the only thing you can control, which is how you feel in any given circumstance. In other words, we want you to leave this moment saying, I've decided that I'm going to take life as it comes, and I'm going to do the best that I can do in the midst of what I am doing. Let's say that one again together. I've decided that I'm going to take life as it comes, and I'm going to do the best that I can do in the midst of what I am doing. Amen. Wow, Aries, what an interesting reading. I hope this resonated with you. Let me know in the comments down below. Zodiac signs you could be connecting with or having your own birth chart. I've got Taurus here. I've got Virgo, Sagittarius, Virgo again. You could be dealing with another Aries, Sagittarius again. I had not Capricorn, well, maybe Capricorn. I had Pisces Piscean and Scorpion and Cancerian energy in the first part of the reading, and the Leo. Could be dealing with any of those signs, but take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it did resonate, let me know in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to give me a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't yet. You can find me on Facebook as well for more fun stuff. Tarot Time with Dana is the name of my Facebook. All of it linked down below, as well as in the About section. Otherwise, I'm wishing you the very, very best. And until next time, my friends, namaste.